Following portion of Daytime Tri-Cities is sponsored by Evans & Evans Real Estate. Welcome to this week's edition of Real Estate Today, brought to you by Evans & Evans Real Estate, and cannot wait to show you this beautiful home here in the Ridges. We're going to do that here in just a second, but first we have Landon Morrison, realtor, here with Evans & Evans Real Estate. And Landon, sort of talking a little bit about the market and just kind of bring us up to speed on what you guys are seeing now.
Most definitely. Well, as we all know, it's been a crazy year. Some of the highest real estate values we've ever seen, some of the busiest markets that we've ever seen, and just like that cool breeze in the air right now, we're starting to feel a little bit of a cool down in that market right now.
And I think for a lot of people out there, that might be a little bit of good news, just because they've been looking for so long and just not a lot of inventory. There
are tons of frustrated buyers out there, and actually that's a great point, that now is the time where it's actually starting to cool down a bit, where a lot of inventory is available, which we haven't had for the last year and a half.
And what are you starting to see as far as people moving here? Does that continue to be a trend that we're seeing?
Oh yes, we're definitely going to end up having a ton of people come here forever. You know, it's going to build and build, but right now what we're seeing is a little bit of a cool down. Market's still strong, it's still a seller's market, but we are having a bunch of inventory now, which we didn't have before. But you're still going to have people that are going to continue to find us here in our little paradise.
Yeah, it is our little paradise. The secret is definitely out. And when you're thinking about putting your home on the market, then as you're kind of entering this, is it a little bit easier at this point?
Yes. Oh, it's going to be great, because right now we still have tons of buyers that are looking for properties. I'm dealing with a couple of folks right now where they've actually purchased a home to buy a home. So, you know, there's still a lot of people that are looking, still a lot of people that are renting here in the area. So the market's going to continue to be strong. It's just taking a little bit of a deep breath right now.
What do you think as far as like catching up? You hear that a lot, that we've kind of caught up to maybe a little bit closer to the national average. When it came to home values, we were maybe a little bit on the lower end.
Yes, we've been on the lower end for quite some time, and our market is slowly growing. In year over year, we're actually up about 17%, which that's about per home, that's about $30,000, $40,000 in price increase. So that level is coming up, but you know, still there's room to grow. I mean, you know, all the different things that this area offers, and the other markets, you know, you think of Asheville, you think of Knoxville, even out to Nashville. I mean, those markets are crazy. So, you know, even though we're taking a little bit of a break, it's still, you know, there are going to be buyers coming, and the prices are going to continue to rise.
And speaking of the prices, is it different depending on the value of the home that you're looking for?
Definitely. It's, you know, you have a lot of homes that go very, very quickly in that lower price point. Anything under $200,000, and when you think about it, you've really got the majority of people can afford those homes. So they're always going to be more popular, and they're going to go faster. But we've had a lot of luxury homes that have been available lately. And so, you know, a lot of higher end things, and those have been gobbled up as well. So a little bit of everything right now. But the main thing for everyone to know is, if you're a buyer in the market, get back in it, because right now, this is the most inventory we've had.
So that is definitely some good news, because I think that early on there may have been some frustration and that pause to say, we're not even gonna go there right now.
Oh, it's been a headache for a lot of folks, and you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you want it, but if it's unachievable, then you're going to take a break. You're going to get frustrated, like you mentioned. So we're seeing a lot of buyers that are coming back in the market just for those reasons.
Yeah, a little bit of good news. And fall is such a beautiful time to be house hunting, and then you can still be in time for the holidays.
Oh yes, you're exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right, well, some great information, Landon. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
If you would like to get a hold of Landon Morrison, you can do that by calling this number right here on your screen. You can also find him at Evans & Evans Real Estate, and you can check out the website there for more information. And be sure to stay tuned, because coming up here a little later on in the show, we're going to show you a beautiful home that is now on the market right here in the Ridges, such a very popular neighborhood here in the Johnson City area. The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by Evans & Evans Real Estate.